I think programs like Sequala, that's what they're for, to help people like me who can't afford to go to school to be a teacher, to give us those opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise.
I think my whole point for going to Sequala was having the representation, and that's something I wanted to be, like the visible person that's like similar to them, kind of grew up in the same kind of places that they have, can understand and know where they're coming from.
For our grand finale of the term, we're going to have some brief sharing about what are you going to take with you from our seminar this term.
Our program's driven by the motto that education strengthens our people. Schools have been sites that harm Native communities and that have sought to assimilate Native communities, but schools aren't the same as education. And so our program really is about reclaiming that idea of education. When our Indigenous teacher candidates feel comfortable and confident in who they are, I think they're likelier to help students feel comfortable and confident who they are.
I can't see.
Which side do you want it on?
It doesn't matter. Maybe the opposite of this thing.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I felt like an imposter being at school, and maybe even an imposter being Native American, you know? And then through school, I realized like I have a lot more confidence. I'm a lot better than I thought I was. And also I know a lot, I am a part of my heritage way more than I realized.
And we've all learned about different things from one another, and I feel like that's something I'm going to take into my classroom. The very first time I had a Native American teacher was probably my sophomore year of college at Haskell Indian Nations University. And I was fortunate enough to have my mom who understood the importance of education, but sometimes people don't have that. And so I felt like being in a school and helping kids realize their potential and helping them get to realize that they can do something. That's when I decided I wanted to like be a teacher and be in the school and helping and like be on the inside.
Tyler Sumter. Stephanie Wright.
The Indigenous teachers coming out of our program are more than a demographic, right? They offer meaningful representation to schools. It's critical that we prepare more Indigenous teachers. In the program, we try to do the strategic work of helping our educators think critically and carefully about how they can infuse Indigenous education into their own practice while also understanding the Oregon State standards, understanding Common Core. But that's a complex task, and it's a very complex task for first year teachers, even just novice teachers in their first couple years.
Stephanie Wright. Masters in Curriculum and Teaching.
We need to remove the barriers to teachers coming in, and then we need to ensure that they stay. Too many teachers leave the classroom before 5 years. So what are you doing in your school or district to support those teachers, especially in those first critical years in the profession?
I feel like I'm drowning and everyone keeps saying, that's normal. And I'm like, but why is it normal? Why is it okay and normal that I feel like I'm drowning? Like that shouldn't be normal. I mean, I knew teachers had a lot of work, and I believed when people say like teachers have more work than they get paid for, but I mean, I really, really believe it now. So they are gluing them together, and then we hang them up. We're gonna hang them up in the classroom. They have a packet that they have to fill out so they can use each other's work to help fill it out. So it's kind of like teamwork. With the pandemic, I don't know what it's like to not teach in the pandemic. So I think maybe in a couple of years, it'll be so easy, and I'll be like, after this 2 years, I can do anything because that was the hardest 2 years of any teacher's life. Then I'm gonna be good, right? I'm gonna be great.
It's kind of cool being out here. This school, like I can relate to some of the students. I always wanted to have, be that teacher where, kids could come, hang out if they wanted to. I don't know, just a teacher someone could trust. I know history is not the funnest thing to learn, but, making it a little bit more interesting. I should make a TikTok, and, have my students rate my cookies with their Chips Ahoy. That would be funny. I think I'm still kind of figuring out what it means to be that teacher, setting the boundaries, wanting to know more about, maybe certain situations and how I can help, but I also know that I don't want to push that boundary too much, We just had put on a walk. We called it Boarding School Remembrance Walk. Those are the kind of cultural activities that I missed out growing up. I think just doing those kinds of things is what I have been excited about, being that teacher, being that Native representation and bringing things like those to these kids. I guess after 2 years I can decide if I still want to be a teacher or not, but I really do. Even now, I want to go back and be a education professor at high school. It was cool to be around Michelle and Leilani because they're so high up. I want to be like them and teach Native teachers who want to come through the program and help them get into education. Just oh, they can do it, I can do it kind of thing. So I think that's the importance for me being here.